Hello and welcome to WRO Season 2021. I'm Sonakshi from India STEM Foundation. As you all know, this year WRO India is going to be organized online. So here I am to guide teams on how they will be making their video for submission. So the video contains of 6 steps which every team will follow while preparing the video. So let's see what is the first step. The first step begins with introduction of the team members, where each participant, each member of the team will introduce themselves along with their ID proofs. Please do remember, when they show their ID proofs, it should be any government issued ID proof which is having the date of birth mentioned in it. So let's see the demonstration for the same. My name is Sonakshi, my team name is ABC, and my date of birth is 3rd September 1994. Here is the ID proof for my age verification. As you can see, you guys need to have used duplicate one. You guys need to show the original ID, and please make sure it should be the government issued and the date of birth should be clearly visible. So each participant have to introduce themselves similarly, and they have to show the ID proofs, and they have to keep it at least for 5 seconds so that it's clearly visible throughout in the video, basically that part. So now let's see what is the second step. Before heading to second step, an important instruction. From here, after the introduction, coaches are not allowed to interact with the team participants. Only team participants can interact with the robot, with the game table, and with the timer. You can see I've put my timer over there, right? So only the participants are allowed. Coaches can help the team by handling the camera, for creating the video, for making the video. Okay, so now let's see what is the next step. For the next step, one of the team participant will be on the timer. Okay, and he or she has to set the timer to 20 minutes. Like you can see, I have already done this. I will click on done, and they have to set it for 20 minutes. Now let me clear it over here. What is this 20 minutes for? Within these 20 minutes, the team participants have to cover the inspection of the table, game table, the inspection of the robot size, inspection of software, means software inspection, and the randomization for the specific game which they are registered for. Okay, participated for basically. Okay, so as the timer starts, the participants will start accordingly. So I have started my 20 minutes over here. So let's start first with the inspection of the game table. For inspection of the game table, the participants will use the measuring tape. You can see I'm using. So one of the end of measuring tape, one of the participant will hold it to the inner wall over here. You can see it's touching the inner wall, and over the other end, I'm taking to the other end, right? I'm using a measuring scale, you can see, and this measuring scale is used only for pointing to the dimension like this. So the coaches need to zoom it so that it's clearly visible, and zoom it out so that it's clearly shown in the video. And please remember, the table size should be according to the WRO rules. Okay, so that is inner length is 2362 mm, right? So now let's see similarly for the width, inner width. Please remember, I know you all know that we are measuring the inner dimensions of the table. You can see over here, it's touching the inner wall. Similarly, on the other end, I'm again using a measuring scale for pointing to the dimension. Again, the coaches will zoom it out so that it's clearly seen from both the ends. Again, the dimension, inner dimension is according to the WRO. Game rule, like general rule, it is 1143 mm plus minus. That's a different. Okay. Now we are done with the field measurement, and you can see my timer is still going on. Okay. So now let's start with the next process, which is robot size inspection. Right? For robot size inspection, you can see that I'm using a measuring box which is made up of acrylic, right? So it's not necessary that team will use the acrylic one. They can use a measuring box made up of plywood. Okay, but please make sure that the inner dimensions of the measuring box should be of 250 mm in length, width and height. Right? So now let's see the team will show the measurement of the box, whether it is according to the what we have said in the video. So for that, again I'm using the measuring tape. I'll put it inside, put one end over the inner wall of the measuring box and over the other end. The coach always will help teams by handling the camera for recording it. Now we have done for the one side. Let's see about the other side. I'll put it more easy for you. You can use this angle as well so that it's clearly visible in the video. Right, zooming it in and zooming out is necessary so that it's like clearly visible. So now let's see specifically for the width as well. Wait. Okay. So now we are done with the measurement of the box. By the time one of the participants will turn off their controllers, the robot controllers, right? So now let's start with the size, measuring the size of the robot. The participant will put the Lego robot completely inside the measuring box like this. You can see it clearly in the video. Such that while drawing the board out, it should not stuck with any of the inner walls of the measuring box. It may be a case the wires might stuck, that's fine, but if a Lego part will stuck, then you need to modify the robot accordingly so that it should not stuck with any of the inner walls. After checking the size of the robot, the participant is supposed to start with the software inspection. For that, the display of the controller should be clearly visible. You can make any size, the robot size, but the display, it should be clearly visible in the video, right? And for that, now let's see what the software inspection means. That the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth of the controller should be turned off. For that, one of the participant will use the right navigation button and go to the settings option. From there, they specifically need to show their Bluetooth over here. It's turned off. I think you can see clearly it in the video. Similarly, I'll go down and the Wi-Fi is also turned off, right? Now, once the Wi-Fi is turned off, the participants have to show that there should be, you all know the rule, that there should be one folder named WRO, and in that folder there should be a program by the name of Run WRO, right? So I'm going to the folder option. Similarly, the participants will also go. You can see there is a program named WRO, right? Folder named WRO. Inside this folder, you can see it's written run WR. Similarly, the participants have to show this while doing the software inspection. For the EV3 controller, for the Spike Prime controller, again it will be turned on using the right navigation button. It should only show the one program like this, and they have to do it like click the right navigation for at least 2 to 3 minutes so that it's clearly visible, right? And please do remember again the Bluetooth over here, it should be turned off, right? So here we are done with our software inspection of the robot. After doing the software inspection, the participant is supposed to turn off the controller, right? After turning it off, the participant has to put the robot inside the start area, the base area, right? So after that, after putting it into the base area, participants are not allowed to touch the robot till the randomization process is completed. As you can see throughout this, my timer is going on, which I have set it for 20 minutes. It's still going on in the video, right? So now let's start with our fifth step, which is the randomization process. For the randomization process, the teams need to have a non-transparent box. You can see over here, right? The teams, like I have prepared prior itself, the teams need to prepare for slips. I forgot the step. We am showing the randomization for junior category, right? For other categories, we'll share the document with you, but I hope you all have gone through the junior category rules. So I'm just taking a quick view of it, just quick process of it, like how it will be. So for that, you need a non-transparent box. You need to have this. You need to prepare the slips of meaning 1, 2, and 3. Right? And the team needs 2x2 Lego bricks of 3 colors, that is green, blue, and red. Right? So let's start with the randomization process for our for our waiting cars basically. So we have 2 red petrol cars, 2 blue hybrid cars, and 2 green electric cars, right? Electric cars. Now, while doing the randomization, important point again, every randomized element will be placed on its position with reference to the base area. Let's say I have drawn a randomized waiting car out of the box. Suppose it is this. So what will be its position? Its position will be 1 with reference to the start area. The positioning will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Similarly, with reference to the base area for the parking row, it will be positioned parking row 1, parking row 2, parking row 3. Clear? Okay. Now let's start the randomization for our waiting cars. So here I am putting my 2 red petrol cars inside the non-transparent box. Waiting cars of blue inside, and electric cars are putting it inside. And without seeing, you need to draw 1 out. So it will be on position 1. Let's do it for second. Position 2. Can shake it. The participant will shake it. Again, coaches can only help in handling the camera. And they will not interact with the participants. 4, 5, and only 1 is left, so I am shaking it. fixing them on its randomized elements on its position. Like this. So here we are done with the randomization for our waiting cards. Now let's head for the next step, where we are going to do the randomization for our pillars. Again, I know you have gone through the rules. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of it. So the pillars, we have 3 parking rows, and in 3 parking rows there are 2 positions for pillars. So there are 3 pillars, and according to the rules, only 1 pillar will be placed in each parking row, right? So for that, we know that there are 2 positions. For that, I have told you to prepare the slips of starting from 1 to 1, 3. So here for pillars, we will be using 2 slips, that is slip number 1 and slip number 2. For pillars, slip 1 I am taking and slip 2 I am taking. And I am putting these 2 slips inside my normal. So I am doing the randomization for parking row 1 and randomization for the pillar for parking row 1 first. Let's do it and see. I'll draw one out. Okay, it's position number 1. So the first pillar will be placed on the position 1. Again, in the starting I have told you it will be through the reference of the base area, right? Now let's see for parking row 2. Again, it's a 1. So, okay, it's a 1 over here. Now let's see for our third one, what we'll get at. Oh, it's a 1. So, all the 3 pillars have been placed in their respective parking rows. Now we are done with the positioning of the pillars. Now let's start the randomization for our park cars. I'll put it again. Before that I will give you a walkthrough of it. I hope you all know the rules accordingly. The green park car will be placed on the green parking bay, the blue on the blue one, the red either on the green or on blue for the randomization process. Right? So I'm putting it inside it and shake it, and I will draw one now, and it's a green, right? So the green will be placed on the green one. Now let's see for the other one. I have taken it out. It's a blue. So the blue will be placed on the blue one, parking row 2, blue. And we are left with only 1, that is red. So you know the red is either to be placed on green or blue. For that only I have told you to take the Lego bricks. So I am taking the color like green and blue because we have 2 colored parking bays. So I am putting these 2 Lego bricks inside it for the positioning of a red park car. Okay, it's a green. So my red car will be placed on green. Yeah, the position of this blue will be like this. By mistake I have done this wrong. Please make sure that you position it a place where orientation correctly. It was just by mistake. Now let's start the randomization for our barriers. Again, the rules are the barriers will be, there are 3 parking rows. Barriers will be placed on either of the 2 parking rows, but only on the empty parking bay areas, right? So let's see in which 2 parking rows the barriers will be placed. So I will use all my 3 slips starting from 1, 2 and 3. This is my 1 which I am putting inside. This is my 2 which I am again putting inside. This is my 3. You can see throughout in the video the timer is going on and the robot is there itself Nobody is touching the robot, it's there. And similarly, the teams are supposed to do it. I'm shaking it and drawing one out. So let's see. Parking row 2 and let's see another one. Parking row 1. So for 1 and 2. So in 1, the barrier will be placed either on blue or on red. So again, I use the Lego bricks, blue and red color. I put it inside and I will take it and I will draw one out. It's a red. So the barrier will be placed on the red. Red. Now it was first and second. So second barrier will automatically go to the green parking bay. Why? Because over here one of the barriers is already placed on the red. So on blue we cannot put it because the car is already there. So only the empty ones are green and red. Red is already occupied in parking row 1 with the barrier. So we are left with green. So for green we have two positions. Position green 1 and green for 2. So for that again I will use the slip process, right? And I am using my slip process again. 1 and this is 2. Let's see what it comes. I'm shaking it and I draw one out and it's 2. So the barrier will be placed on 2. So here we are done with the randomization process. And once the randomization process is done, the timer, the participant who's handling the timer will pause the time. It's fine because we have given you 20 minutes for all these 4 steps, for measuring the play field, for measuring the size of robot, the robot inspection, software inspection and the randomization. These 20 minutes were allotted for these 4 steps. So if you complete before that, it's fine. The timer needs to pause the time. And then the timer needs to adjust, reset the time for the final robo run. Okay, and you know the robo run is for 2 minutes. Right? Okay. Once the timer has set this time for 2 minutes, the participants over here can check the robot is completely inside the base area, right, according to the rules, and the participant will turn on their brick over here, right. So let's wait for till the brick gets turned on. So as the brick gets turned on, by the time the participant will reset the time, and on the count of the timer, right? On the count of the timer, the robot and the timer, both should start at the same time. So now the brick is on, right? So let me demonstrate, like on the call, how the timer will call. The timer will say, putting it on start, ready, set, and go. As soon as the timer says go, the participant has to turn the timer on. The robo run on, the robot on for the final run, right? And let's say the robot has done few tasks, right? So, and by the time the timer is going on over there, right? Throughout the game, once the robo run has started, the elements, the game elements, the robot and the timer, it should be clearly visible in the video. Okay, this is the one thing. And now the time is going on, the robot is completing its task, right? So how the time will be paused? Like either the 2 minutes are over, right? The timer will pause the time once the 2 minutes are over, right? Or if any of the, let's say my robot is on this position. For example, I am giving you a scenario of it. For example, my robot is on this position and one of the participant, he just touch the robot like this and the timer will pause it. portion on which the time will be paused, right? So once the time gets paused, the coach who will be helping the team by handling the camera has to take a close-up video, close-up of the game field table of every game element. So for the scoring purpose basically. Right now we are not showing you any of the scenario of it. We are just taking a close-up, like telling you how you need to take a close-up of it. But we'll definitely show you an example how you need to give a close-up video of the for scoring purpose. Let's see, this is the scoring, and let's say my like this, the coach will take a close-up of it, right? And now let me take a scenario of it. Let me show you a scenario for scoring purpose, because the participants are supposed to do the scoring also, right? For that purpose, let's take a small scenario in which I'm taking my parked electric car to the entry lane over here. For example, I'm just taking an example of it, right, to show you how the scoring and how to take a close-up of every video, right? And one of my hybrid car is placed like this, right? I'm taking my entry cars. One is here, the green one is here, okay, and
one parcel, one fold.
One will be here, and I'm taking it over here, right? I'm just taking the scenario of it. Okay, I'll take
battery will be bugging.
this out and I'll take this in. Okay, let's make this scenario work. I'll just, by chance, the robot has just moved this barrier as well. For example, it has moved the pillar also out. Okay, so let's say, and by the time the robot has reached to this point. So this is the scenario I have created by my own, an example of it, right? So how the participants are supposed to do the scoring? The participants are, the coach will take a close-up of it, and you can see the time should be always visible over there, right? And while the coach is taking a close-up video of every game element clearly, the participants will simultaneously fill the score sheet for this specific game, or yes, for their specific game. Right? And once the scoring, the close-up of the scoring is done, the participant, like I told you, the participant will slowly, by the time they do the scoring of it, and they have to show the score sheet in the video, and make sure the participants, they have to mention their team registration number, their team name, and they have to fill every element, like 1, if it's 0, it's 0. They have to do the counting, mark the final score, the time which is there, they have to mention the time also, and the signature of the 2 participants. The sheet I have filled it prior itself. So this is how I have shown you the randomization, one scenario of the randomization for the junior category. For the remaining categories, we will share the document with you, right? And for the timer also, the link we will be providing you, and remaining with the score sheets and the timer, the link for the timer will be provided, and the score sheet, it will be uploaded on the website itself. Thank you and all the best.